Hey, good morning, Trailblazers. Welcome to this exciting sales session at TDX. And today we are going to talk about two amazing products we just launched very recently. The first one is the Agentforce for Flow, and second one is the intelligent data processing, which will be introduced by my colleague Somesh. So before we get started, here's the forward-looking statements. I'm sure you have seen many times. Basically, this presentation contains some of the future events and product developments. The actual result may differ due to various factors. Okay, so my name is Zheyuan Chen, and I'm a senior manager from the AI research team. And on stage with me today is Somesh.
Hi, my name is Somesh Sasuti. I'm a software architect, and I work on the MuleSoft side of the house.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Agentforce for Flow first. So this is the group of amazing AI features we bring to help you to automate your flow and other tasks. So the first feature we provide here is to draft the flow using AI. So basically, now you can simply describe what flow you want to create. Then the AI will do the rest of the task for you. And second one is about the formula. Similarly, you can just describe what kind of formula you want to write, and the AI will do the rest of the work. And the last thing is about the flow summarization. So suppose you have a huge org with hundreds or even thousands of flows, and many of them are created by some other admins, and probably some of them are created by you a while ago. But now you want to understand what the flow does. But currently with our product, it is very simple. With a single click and with just a few seconds, you can see the explanation from the AI for this flow, and you can explain them at different level of details. Okay, now let's take a look at a few examples. The first one is about the text-to-flow generation. So now in the flow builder, you can click on this Let Einstein to help you build. And then when you click next, you will see a few examples you can follow, and that can tell you what's the best way to write prompts. And today I'm going to write my own to get the opportunities that was closed 14 days ago. Then I want to loop through them and send emails to each of the account owners. And when I click the create, after a few seconds, you will see a flow on your screen. And the AI is doing the magic behind. Okay, now you can see the flow generated by AI. It is the auto-launched flow, and you can see all of the elements are there. We can get the opportunity first, and there's a loop, and we are sending the emails to the account owners. And I think it's great, so I give it a thumb up. And then you can simply save the flow with your name and the API, and you can simply activate it if you think it is ready to use. Okay, so then the next demo is about the flow summarization. So suppose I'm another admin, and today I noticed there's a new flow created in my org, and I'm very curious and want to see what it does. So I click on this flow someone just created, and then I can see this flow. And traditionally, I have to go to each of the elements to check the details to understand what this flow does. But today, it is very simple. Just go to the sidebar, and we'll click on Summarize the flow. And with just a few seconds, you can see the magic happen. Well, the AI is describing this flow for you. And it can also list all of the details, like the objects and fields, with you. And also, you can change the length of the details. So first, I want to make it shorter. And again, with just a few seconds, we will give you a very simple description of this flow. And you can simply click on the button to add it to your flow description. So in the future, you don't need to do anything about the flow description writing by yourself anymore. Okay, then the next one, I will show you a more complex example. So this is a more complex flow with dozens of elements. So traditionally, of course, it's very hard to understand it by myself. So again, currently with just a single click, the AI can explain what it does for you very quickly. And so similarly, you can revise the length however you want to check the different level of details. Okay, cool. So that's are the demos. So then I will talk about what are the techniques and the research work we have done behind the scene to power this product. So just a quick introduction to our Salesforce AI research team. So we have been innovating for the last decade to bring the AI to all of our products. So when you all the way back in the 2014 that AI will fundamentally change the CRM products. So the company established this amazing AI research team since then. So this group of world-class researchers and engineers have been working really close together to bring AI to every single layer of our products. So we do a lot of amazing research here. So for instance, we have published more than 350 papers and more than 400 patents in the few years. That is a huge number. And also many of our research works are groundbreaking and laid the foundation of many research directions. And our AI has powering our AI products all the time. So for instance, in the early days, we have been building something like prediction builder, the conversational insight mining, instant search, recommendation builder, etc. And in the recent years, we have bring a lot of generative AI products into our CRM platform. So for instance, we have the Cogent, the SFR embedding, which is powering the RAG system. And recently, we launched the Agentforce for Flow and also for developers. And last year, we also incubated the Atlas reasoning engine, which is powering our Agentforce 2.0. Okay, now let's take a look at the model we have built specifically for this Agentforce for Flow product. So this is a state-of-art in-house LM, leveraging our internal data, very specifically designed for these flow tasks. So with this model, we can boost the accuracy because we can continually improve our model based on the user's feedback. So for instance, if you bring some issues, we can do a lot of data synthesis and a lot of model training around your use cases and to improve the model based on that. And second one is that we can ensure the trust and the security because all of these models are deployed inside Salesforce. So your data will never leave this very secure environment. And the next thing, but not least, is we can minimize the latency and the resource usage because we are building really small models, but they are more powerful than all of the other general purpose models because it's fine-tuned on the flow-specific data and it's specifically defined for this process. Okay, so what we heard from the admin so far is that this product helps them to jumpstart the flow building process rather than a replacement for it entirely. And it can help them to enforce the best practices. And also, of course, it is an iterative process. So people need to collaborate with AI to get the job done. And to make all of this happen, the training data is the key here. So in the past 2 years, we have been working with a group of exceptional flow experts. So for instance, we have Andrew, Tracy, and Dario. They are certified Salesforce admins who had many years of experience of building flow and doing flow-related tasks. So with their help, we can ensure our data has very high quality and cover the majority and very diverse use cases. And also, our training data is infused with the best practices. And let's take a deeper look at how we create the data step by step. So usually the first step starts with the prompt writing. So our expert will write a lot of prompts, and we want to mimic the real use cases. And then our flow expert will create the corresponding flow in an org we have set up for this data creation process. So as you can see here, we always add a fault pass here to enforce the best practice. And in the early days, all of flows are generated by human from scratch manually. But recently, we are also using AI to facilitate this process. And the next stage is we can simply scrape the metadata from the flow and process it into some format the AI can easily understand. And the last step is that we have another round of review and give the grade for each of the flow, and we will rejecting the bad quality ones. And we will add some further details like the chain of thoughts, the object information, that is for the flows with custom objects, and also some level of complexity. And after we do all of this, the data will be ready for training. Okay, so we just talk about the data and how we train the model. Now I will talk about in the runtime how we use this model. So if the user type in some prompt, so for instance, I want to create a flow to send emails after an opportunity is closed, and I want to do some follow-up stuff with the customer. So after the AI saw this prompt, we will generate a high-level topology of this flow first. So it consists of the element and their connectors. So each element could be an action call, like send an email, or decision, or loop, and other elements. And also we have the connectivity between them. And after that, the AI will generate the details of each element in parallel. And eventually, we will translate everything into the flow metadata and deploy it into your system. And on the converse, you will see the flow there, just like we showed in the demo. And then you can do whatever you want, just like a manually created flow. OK, so that's part of the Agentforce for Flow. So if you are interested, please feel free to try our product. And we are looking forward to your feedback. Now I'm handing over to Somesh about the IDP.
Thank you, Chuan. Okay, so we just saw a case of how you can build flows in the system. Most of you might have already done this in the past. And you can use a lot of structured data that is available inside of your Salesforce CRM to read records, create auto log triggered flows, or schedule triggered flows, or whatever have you, based on the data that is available in your CRM. What we've discovered with a lot of talking to our customers is that a lot of the business data is actually locked away in unstructured documents, right? And how do we actually try and pull that information out? And how do we build automation or bring that information from these documents into our automations? So we started working on this problem, and we created a product called the Intelligent Document Processing. This is within the Anypoint platform in MuleSoft today, and where we take in documents and we do certain operations on them. These operations could be classifications or extractions of information using technologies like OCR, ML, AI, and then we transform that into a structured piece of information that you can use, or data, or JSON, that you can use in your actual automations. We, in November, launched something called Einstein for IDP, where we created the ability to talk to LLMs to extract a lot of the information out of documents themselves. And it comes with a very seamless UI, UX to when you're designing or creating your document configurations to be able to use our UI. And we made it as intuitive as possible to be able to extract this information out of the documents. And let's take a demo of it. So this is the intelligent document processing feature inside of Anypoint platform. You have to create an action. I've already created a document action. I'm going to bring in a medical bill here. And then you can extract fields and tables. On the right-hand side, you can see that I'm extracting a field called patient account, and I'm giving a simple prompt in the format that I would expect the extraction to be in. And I can also give an example to it. And then once you give the example, it knows that the name is person account and knows a hint on how to extract it. You can also extract tables. So you can see that we've already given the description of one of the tables that's available that you see on the screen. But there's a second table that we would also like to extract out of this document. So I'm trying to define the metadata for it. So I'm saying, here's the table. I'd like you to extract the parties responsible for the payments and certain columns, describing certain columns of how the payments are going to be extracted. So I describe what the table is going to do. I say there's a responsible column here, and it will have a value of patient or insurance, just giving some hints to the prompt. And for some of the other ones, like the current or the amount of money owed now or owed 30 days later, it doesn't really need a prompt. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we run it. And as you run it, this is going in the back end to do OCR extraction and talking to LLMs to be able to extract this information out of this document. And we see right below the document, we see that it has been able to extract all of the rows for each of the columns that it could find. Wherever there is no information, you see a dash, but wherever there was actual information on values, it was able to extract that from the document. Right? And if you scroll further down, at some point we will see that this extraction is just the first table, as you can see. And then you can also move over and look at the second table that we had extracted. And you see that one of the columns is actually marked as yellow. And this is because every extraction comes with a confidence score. And that confidence score is something that we had set to be 80. But when we got it back, it came back with a value of 65. So we were able to actually tell the confidence at which a certain value is extracted, and then we can send this back into a human-in-the-loop review cycle to be able to extract. And then we also see that that was the tables, and then you can also see the fields being extracted out of the system. So let's talk about how it works behind the scenes. Right? So you saw in the demo that we put in a document, and we put certain prompts where we were configuring our document action. So once those prompts are put in, there's an API available to run the extraction. It goes to this IDP service, and we do a couple of steps. First, we have to extract some of the schema information out of the document. We're using OCR capabilities. And then we send the OCR plus the prompts that you had in your IDP configuration over to an LLM, but it all goes through the Einstein Trusted LLM Gateway, where we know that the information is not getting leaked out and getting uptrained into the whatever third-party LLM or homegrown LLMs we're using. And so the Einstein LLM gateway provides the layer of trust for us. And once the response gets back, we send it back to the output, and that was the output that you saw in the table. And this is during the design time. Now, you could also package this, deploy it, and once you deploy it, you are able, or activate it, and once you're able to activate it, you can use the API to run that extraction over and over again. So what we're trying to achieve with this is to have like a much more intuitive experience for you to design that configuration. So in the demo, you saw that you could load up a document, look at what's the information in it, and also sort of prompt and provide your fields and tables and the prompts around it. So that was very key for us to ensure that it's a very seamless and intuitive experience to be able to build this configuration. And we also want to make sure, because we are talking to LLMs, we don't want to consume too many tokens. So we try to optimize the information by extracting text upfront so that we can send not just the customer provided prompts, but some of our own prompt hints, so that the tokens that come back are A, accurate, and B, doesn't have a very chatty interaction with the LLMs, because ultimately, because it talks to Einstein, you're going to consume Einstein credits as a result of this. We also have the ability to provide models, in the sense that you can select one or more models as they are allow listed by us after they have been vetted into the system. And because the Einstein trust layer is present before we even talk to an LLM, we can do things like PII masking, and that's really easy for us to do, because the Einstein trust layer takes care of it automatically, where it redacts the information before it sends it over to the LLM, and on the way back, it can dereference back the redaction to the actual data that is available to be able to send it back to the user. This feature that you saw in the demo is actually available today. You can extract and transform your data out of your documents. We have been on a journey of evolving the backend capabilities to be using just OCR capabilities versus also integrating LLM capabilities into the system. And one thing that I didn't show in the demo, but it's possible to do, and you saw that there was a threshold mismatch between the output value and the threshold that we had set. We have a human-in-the-loop process where you can go and look at tasks that need to be manually corrected or changed or confirmed before the result can be actually used in a certain automation. If you want to learn more about these, I think there's a breakout session later in the day where I think both Vidya and Julian are going to talk about the Agentforce for Flow. And happy to take some questions and looking forward for some feedback. Thank you.